That's always the way. That's right. Oh, my internet traffic gave me a red light. There was an accident on the internet. That's I got a, can you get a flat modem? And then it's like a flat tire. I had a flat battery. Okay,
Well,
what I'll
I had my modem crash the other day. It just wouldn't, like, my computer couldn't pick up the network at all.
yeah, okay.
Bought a new router.
Well, apparently they ran out of, like, NBN ran out of routers or something like that, and so they couldn't open up any new NBN connections anywhere in the country because they ran out of routers because obviously everyone's been updating stuff over COVID, and then China's been late at supplying new equipment. So yeah, they just ran out of things. So like, oh, no more NBN connections possible because we've got no more modems. That's pretty funny. Anyway, let's share a screen and let's see if we can get through. Okay. So what I thought I'd do is just sort of show you, Boris, given that you're here, I'll show you your class.
Yeah. No, that's exactly where I want to be, actually.
Yeah. Good.
Let me close my screen because it may interfere something.
Okay, so just make sure you can see my screen, and you should.
Yeah. I just log out from exactly the same screen on my.
Oh no, that's okay. You can be logged in. It doesn't make a difference. That's fine.
It doesn't. Okay.
No,
I just multiple updates at the same time.
Oh no, it's okay. It's cloud-based software. It should be able to manage with all of that, so it's no problem. Okay, so what we've got is the class on KU Zone. So this happens to be Boris's class for the 24th of February, which was yesterday's class at Mount Eliza Primary School. So, okay, like normal, you've marked the role, you've done everything that you need to do, and there's this blue button here which just says Tornelo Tournament. Okay,
that's what I did yesterday. Unfortunately, I sort of grabbed those who were absent. There were a lot of people absent. They had collided with the beach excursion yesterday. That's why so many absentees. They're pretty good class. But then when I pair them up, it pick up those who were not there. And now I try to fix that. And I want to know how to do it.
Yep. So this will help everybody with understanding what Tornelo is and how it works. So just to give the background, so Tornelo is a chess tournament management software. It runs what we call a Swiss tournament. A Swiss tournament has 3 principles. That is, in each game, you should never play against the same opponent twice in a tournament. You should always play against somebody who's got the same number of wins or losses as you, so that you're playing somebody at your own level. And as much as possible, you should alternate between being black and white so that you don't be black or something for the whole tournament. So in our classes, what we like to see is that, okay, in this primary school here, we have 8 weeks. Every single week should be another round of the tournament. Okay, so then you do your lesson, you do your activities, and then the third stage of that lesson can be then a tournament game. Now, when it's a tournament game, it's like very motivational for the kids. They know that they have to treat it seriously, so it provides a bit of context, which makes them take it more seriously. It also stops any arguments about like, I don't want to play against that person. This is a tournament game. In tournament games, everybody knows you play what the pairings tell you to play. So there's like lots of good reasons. I would suggest, even if the kids don't know how to play chess, so it's like the first class they've ever done, week number 1, you just teach them how the pawns move, or you just teach them how the king and the queen moves, or whatever order you're doing it in. Okay, I normally like to teach the rook first and then the bishop. So let's say you only taught 2 pieces because they're just like 5-year-old kids. Okay, they know how these 2 pieces move. You put them on the tournament on the chessboard and you say, now we're playing a tournament game. It doesn't matter they only have 2 pieces on the chessboard. They can still play a tournament game. They play the game and you say, great, at the end, like whoever moved the pieces the best, you get the win. Okay, so then they're straight away from the very first time, they're always practicing like tournament games. Right? Like I said, it's very motivational for the players. It gives you some way of tracking results and progress. It makes sure that you're always playing against different opponents. Right? If you just say, okay, you don't know how the pieces move yet, we're not going to play a tournament game. They go off, they play with their rooks and their bishops. They know how these pieces move now. But then next week, maybe they want to play against the same person. Right? And then the week after, they say, oh, but I played against that person before. Well, the tournament game, it's not so much about like, oh my gosh, you have to have like international rules, and you have to have like an umpire, and you have to submit it for like international ratings. This is just a method to make sure that each time they're playing against somebody different, that the people who are doing well, you're keeping track of them, so you know that they're progressing, they're at the top of the tournament table, so you can pay attention maybe to the players at the bottom because they need some assistance. So if after 3-4 weeks, you've taught the pieces now, the first week, you taught them how the rook and the bishop moves. The next week, the king and the queen. The next week, the pawns. The next week, the knight. Okay, you've gone through all of the pieces. It's taken you 4 weeks. Everybody's playing a game. If you see somebody they lost 4 weeks in a row, maybe they don't know how the pieces move yet. Maybe they're struggling a little bit and you can go and help them. But the players who've won 4 in a row, they're obviously doing quite well. So it's just such a good tool. It should be happening in every single lesson of every single class. There's really no time at all that I can think of that you wouldn't have a tournament game. Okay, so like even if you've got 2 kids in the class, maybe you have a really small class, everybody else is away. Great, play a tournament game. Okay, maybe you have to break the rule that you can't play against the same person twice in a tournament. That's okay, you can break the rules, but still, it's a tournament game. Still, they have to take it seriously. They have to try hard. Okay, so it's really motivational. You can tell them, okay, in this tournament game, you want to try and win the game. Okay, think about the 3 golden rules, right? Think about castling. Think about, what does Magnus Carlsen do in his tournament games? So you can relate the tournament games in their head to the lesson that you've done as well. All right, so what you do is you click the button Tornelo Tournament. This takes you to a second piece of software, all right? So this is now Tornelo. Tornelo is a platform that manages chess tournaments. Like there's like 1,800 clubs and organizations all over the world that are using it to run chess tournaments. So what I'll do is just show you, how the chess tournament side of things works, how you use the management system. We've got an integration with Tornelo. So when you click the button, it takes all the people in the class here and it enters them into the tournament. So you can see now on the standings list, we've got the 22 players listed. They're the same 22 players that are listed here. Adam Mullen to Zoe Gardner. Okay, Adam Mullen to Zoe Gardner. Okay, Sivanesh, he's at the top. He has a rating. This means that he's played before on Tornelo. He has an account on Tornelo. He's playing in other tournaments. Maybe he's playing RJ Shield. Maybe he's playing inter-school competitions. Maybe he's playing chess at noon on weekends. So he's playing many, many chess tournaments all the time. So he has a rating. He's played before. But these other guys, maybe they haven't played on Tornelo before. They don't have an account. Okay, but after this tournament's finished, then they'll have an account. When they have an account, then you can update their progress term by term, and you'll see that they get a rating. So let's have a look now at how things work. So there are 2 views over Tornelo since COVID. So since this exactly this time 1 year ago, Tornelo was just running chess tournaments for players playing on a chessboard, and then COVID came. And so Tornelo added online chess. And so since they added online chess, there's now 2 views over each tournament. There's this view here, which we call the tournament lobby. And the tournament lobby is what the players get to see when the players come to the tournament page. Now, if you're running an over-the-board tournament in a class, the players will never see this. It doesn't matter. It's just a management tool for you to run a tournament over the board. But let's say that you have a flash lockdown. Okay, and now we have to do an online lesson. Great, now you can give the players this link. Okay, so this is a URL, it's the website. You can give them the link, I can give it to anybody, and then they can come to this page, and then this is what they can see. They can sign into the website, actually, because this is a private tournament, it's private to us, so all of our school tournaments are private. So it will ask them to log in, but once they've logged into Tornelo, they've got to use an email address to sign in. Then you can give them a way to actually play the games, right? So then they can actually play games on Tornelo as well. So they can see all of this. You just send them to this website, right? They sign into Tornelo, okay, and then now they can play their games online, right? So it's a good system because it doesn't matter if you're running a class in school and then next week you have to do online and the next week you have to do from school, the next week you go online, you can still use the same platform. Everything's going to be the same. You're keeping track of the scores. So, okay, this what we see here is the player's view. It's what we call the tournament lobby. Okay, there's also this button here, pairing program, and this is what the arbiters see. So I'm just going to have 2 tabs open. I'll show you what the players would see if it was an over the board, if it was an online tournament as well. But I'll mainly show you what you do as the what we call in a chess tournament arbiter, okay, or a coach to manage the tournament. Okay, so we have here our list of all of our players, and I can see here we've got the round one pairings done. If we've done something wrong, like let's say that you have the pairings done, but okay, we paired all 22 players, but not everybody was there. So this does not really reflect what happened. So what I'll do is I'll just delete this round just so I can show everybody what happened. Okay, Boris, that's all right?
Oh, pair next round, delete. Yeah, that's
Yep.
Exactly
so I
what
just
I was looking for.
Yeah, click the drop down, and now I've got delete round one. So I'm going to delete the round, and this takes us back to the start of the tournament. Okay, at the start of the tournament, this is all of our players. We have this column here, roll call. Okay, you can see that column. I will sort the column headers, but you can see this roll call. So what you can do, okay, I know you've marked the roll already on Tornelo, but it's not clever enough to mark the roll and then update the roll also on Tornelo. So it's kind of like unfortunately, a little bit of double handling. So, okay, maybe there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people who are absent. Okay, 9 people who are absent. That's more people who are here than absent. I'm going to hold down the shift button. I'm going to click this. I'm just going to mark everybody as present. And then I'm just going to take away those people who are absent. Okay, so I can see Adam Mullen was not here. So let's just sort by name. Okay, so Adam is not here. So I'll take him away. Andrew was not here. So I'll take him away. He's absent. Harvey Winnie was not here. So we'll take him away. Okay, we've got Jack Summer and James Law. They were both absent. Okay, Lucas and Lucas are both absent. And we've got Ziggy and Zoe were both absent. Okay, so now we have an accurate list of who's actually in the tournament. And usually what I do is I do this actually on the spot at the, like in the class, right? So you've done your lesson, you say, okay, let's now go to Tornelo. The kids love to see this anyway. So you show them Tornelo, you're like, okay, this is our tournament software. It's going to manage who you're playing against. At the end of the tournament, you're going to get a rating. Like look at Sivanesh, he's got a rating of 960. You can click on his name and go to his player profile. This will show you all of Sivanesh's history, all of the tournaments he's played in before. So, okay, here we can see his history. He's been playing on Tornelo, okay, since 2019. Look at all the tournaments he's played, so many tournaments. Okay, so sheesh, a lot of tournaments, right? And so you can see this is his chart over time. And so you can say, oh, Sivanesh, great, you're improving. Look at this, you're playing all these tournaments. You can even go back and you can see, like he just played in the RJ Shield finals online. Okay, you can see he lost 32 rating points from that tournament. That wasn't a good day for him. But you can go, oh, you had a great day at this tournament. You went up by 21 points. So you can go back, you can see the history from everything, right? So this can be motivational for the kids as well, right? Over his tournament history, he's represented in tournaments, Kids Unlimited, Melbourne Tigers, Mount Eliza Primary. So he plays for different teams, maybe the Mount Eliza Primary team, the Melbourne Tigers team, the Kids Unlimited team. So he's been representing, okay, he played an international challenge match. He played in an Oceania Chess League. He's been playing a lot of things. So you can talk about this with the kids. It's really motivational. They're like, oh, you mean we could play chess tournaments outside of school? This is amazing. Like, how does that work? And Sivanesh can talk. And now Sivanesh can feel like he's a role model and leader in the class. He can talk about, oh yeah, I played this international challenge match against, I don't know, where was this? Against America, maybe? Yeah, this is against America. I played against kids in a different country. Oh my gosh, how good is that? That you represented Kids Unlimited to play in an international match against America. You represented Melbourne in the city of Melbourne in this Oceania League, and you played against like Sydney and Adelaide and Auckland and lots of other, I think there was Wellington, Otago, like even lots of little New Zealand cities. Okay, he represented his school in the inter-school competition in Frankston. Okay, great. So he can talk about all of these things. This is really motivation. All right, so we're back to our tournament. We mark the roll on Tornelo as well, and now we click the button Start Now. It'll ask you some questions. What do you want to do with all these people who are absent? Okay, and sometimes if you're running a tournament that happens all on one day, you want to actually withdraw those players for the whole tournament. But you know they're coming back next week, so we're just going to skip absent players for the first round only. All right, so that's what you want to do. They're just not here right now, but they'll be back next week. Next week will be the next round. We're going to do that. So skip absent players for the next round. The top seed is white or black on board one, so we're just going to say okay. All right. this is now done some what we call pairings. Okay, pairings are a list of like who plays against who. So we have Sivanesh playing against Sam. We have Harry against Berk. Okay, and this shows you all of the players who are playing against each other. Okay, then you would tell the kids, okay, your tournament pairings are done. Check out my screen. This works on a phone, it works on a laptop, anything you like. Check out the screen. This is who you're playing against. And then they say, oh, cool, I'm playing against this person, Sivanesh against Sam. All right, who's white, who's black? Okay, in chess tournaments, there's a kind of a convention, which is the same all around the world. If you read your name first, you move first. So everybody in this column you can see here is white. Okay, oops. Everybody in this column here is black. So Sivanesh, you're white, Sam, you're black. So you have no arguments at all. The players have to go and sit. They have to play against who they're told. They have to play the color they have been told. Everything, it's exactly like, you know, it's organized for you, and the players just you know, participate. Okay, so in this situation, we had only 13 players. So Daniel Tsung gets a bye because you need an even number of players to match each other up. So what do you do with Daniel? You say, congratulations, you just get an automatic win. Okay, maybe you can work with Sam Gardner. You know Sivanesh is a good player, right? So Daniel Tsung and Sam Gardner can work together as a team, and two of them can play against Sivanesh. If they win, Sam's going to get the point, not Daniel, but they can work together as a team. Don't worry, they're still going to lose. Sivanesh is much better than them, right? So, or you can say, okay, as the coach, I'll step in and I'll be the bye. Daniel, you play against me, but don't worry, if you lose, you're still going to get the 1 point because actually you have a bye. Okay. Or you can say, okay, Daniel, you've got a bye. Can you just watch all of the other players' games? You know, help them out a little bit. You know how the pieces move. If somebody's new and they need some help, can you be my helper? All right. So there's a lot of things you can do with the person who has the bye. Okay. My preference is like either pairing them up or getting them to help other people, because as a coach, what I want to do is walk around and observe some of these games in progress and try and give some real-time assistance to the players. All right. This is great learning opportunity then. So you can be watching Henry and Lewis's game for 2 minutes, and during that 2 minutes, you see them make 2 or 3 moves. Maybe you can make some insightful comment about one of those moves that they made, and they go, oh, wow, okay, this is real-time analysis of my game. I can learn from like my moves in this situation. I know what to do differently next time. You don't have to tell them what move to play in the game, but you can say after the move, I saw you made that move. You could have done something different instead. And they start thinking, wow, I didn't think about that opportunity. I didn't think about I was thinking just about the one move I played. These are not tournament games like for the World Championships. There's no sheep stations. There's no prizes. Like it's, you know, nobody's winning cash prizes. So, you know what, even if you tell them, hey, you know what, in this position, this is the move you should make, that's a great thing. I have no problems with that happening. My rule of thumb is to, when you're giving advice to the players in the game, that you don't change the natural outcome of the game. So if one player is like 10 pieces ahead, right, you tell them how to get checkmate, that's not changing the natural outcome of the game. He's 10 pieces ahead. He's going to win anyway. So you could teach him how to do a checkmate, and that's just going to be a good educational opportunity, and it doesn't change the natural outcome of the game. I definitely wouldn't get a situation where one person is like 3 queens behind, you know, they've got like a king and a bishop and the other person's got all their pieces, and then you show the person who's losing how they can do checkmate in one move, all right? Because now you've turned the tables and you've changed the natural outcome of the game. But okay, if you can make some assessment like, okay, this guy's winning, you can give him a little bit of help. Or maybe the person who's like 7 pieces down, right, you tell them how to take 1 piece. That's not going to change the natural outcome of the game. They were 7 pieces down, now they're 6 pieces down. You told them what to do to take a piece, you gave them a little bit of help, it's brought it back up a little bit closer to equal, but still, okay, of course, the better player, he's already 6 pieces ahead still, he's probably the better player anyway. Even if you brought it up back to even, like so you've got Sivanesh against Sam. Sivanesh is a much better player, you know that. Halfway through the game, Sam's a queen behind, and you tell Sam how to win the queen back. It brings the game back to even. But Sivanesh will still win, so don't worry. You haven't changed the natural outcome of the game. It's not a problem to give that assistance during a game. Okay, so even though we call it a tournament game, it's still an educational situation. Okay, we're still trying to teach the kids something, so absolutely give them some help. All right, so here we have the pairings. You tell the kids to go and play their games. When the game's finished, you say, okay, this is who won. Sivanesh won this game. Okay, Berk won this game. Rose won this game. By default, it's usually sorted by results. So all of the games that have won go down the bottom. So if I put in a draw for these guys, it drops to the bottom. And you can see the ones at the top are the ones that are remaining. Okay, so you can put in all your pairings for all of your games. This is all your results. Okay, results are in. Everybody, they finish their games. They can play some more practice games. They can do whatever they want if they finish, early enough that there's still time in the lesson. Then you go away, you come back next week, and you're going to do the pairings for next week. Now, let's say next week, now you don't have your computer. Something's happened. I don't know what's happened. So you're like, I have to make a pairings at home, and I'm going to print the list and take it with me. So we can see on our player list now, everybody is marked as present. So you're going to make the pairings for the next round. This pairs all 22 players because you're doing this at home. You don't know who's going to be there or not there. Okay, so we have all the people who've got one win playing against all the people with one win. You've got all the people with a draw playing against people with a draw, and the people who've lost are playing with the losses. So this is a good system, right? You're always playing the better players against each other. So now you come to the class, you printed this list, you click the button print, prints the list of who's playing against who, right? So you print that out. Okay, we get to the class, we say, all right, everybody, now we're going to play a tournament game, but okay, 3 people are missing. Okay, so let's say that Emma's missing, let's say that Burke is missing, and let's say that Daniel is missing, just for the sake of easiness. Okay, there's just these 3 people missing, but it doesn't matter, anybody can be missing. So you take your piece of paper that you have and you cross Emma's name out, you cross Burke's name out, you cross Daniel's name out, you say, okay, these 3 people are away. Let's rearrange this a little bit and get them to play against each other. So Rose, I want you to go up here and play against Sivanesh. And you'll just write that on your list. Rose played against Sivanesh. You just write Rose's name in this spot. And then when you get home, you're like, okay, Rose played against Sivanesh. So we'll click the little pencil icon. Now you've got an edit. We're going to type Rose's name in here. Boom. Okay. And now that's moved Rose into this spot. And Rose was here on number 3 against Daniel. And now that's Daniel's playing against nobody. Okay. We can sort by the table number if we want to make it easier. Okay. So Burke was away as well. So Finley, who did Finley play against? Oh, Finley didn't play against anyone. He had the bye. So let's take Burke's name out. And Daniel was not here, so we'll take Daniel's name out. Just deleted those. Now, these are the people who are away. They're unpaired. And here's the pairings for the tournament. Finley didn't play against anyone, so he gets a win against the bye. Okay, nobody played here. And everybody else played their games. We can put our results. Okay. So you put all your results in, whatever happened in the game. Okay, this one was a win, this one was a draw, this one was a draw. Okay, let's say at the end of this week, you had a really much longer lesson. And so at the end of the lesson, you say, okay, now you go play your tournament games. Everyone sits down, they're playing their tournament games. But then the bell goes, or the bell's about to go, you have to pack up. You're like, sorry guys, they're still halfway through their game. They haven't finished. What do you do? Okay, we still have to adjudicate a winner. So now you go and you look and you say, oh, Boris is like a queen up against Dominic. Okay, Boris, you get the win. Okay, Harry and Jack, it's even on pieces. Okay, we'll call this one a draw. Okay, Lucas and Ziggy, Lucas is 1 pawn ahead. 1 pawn ahead, it's not enough. I call it a draw. As long as you're consistent with this arbitration, doesn't matter. Okay, so usually my policy is that one person has to be at least 3 points ahead. Okay, so that's like at least a bishop or a knight. You've got to be, if you're just 1 pawn ahead, I'm calling the game a draw. If you're 3 points ahead, I'll give you the win. Okay. So of course you want to encourage people to finish the game if they can, but okay, sometimes they can't. There's not enough time in the lesson. We understand that. You adjudicate the games because it's not about like rankings or championship prize money or anything like that. It's just about like who's the better player. If Alia here was like a bishop and a rook ahead, okay, give her the win. She's obviously a better player than Jack. In the next round, okay, now got more points. People with more points play against each other. Okay, so let's say round number 3 comes. We just deleted that round. You come to the class. Now you can say these people were absent. You take away those people from the tournament. These ones are not here today. And then when you've marked the roll in week 3, you click pair next round. Here's the people that we marked as absent. They get left out, and it just matches the players who are there. Okay, Rose, she's on 2 points. She would like to play against Sam, who's on 2 points, but she can't because he's not there today. So she'll play against someone who's got 1 point. It'll do the best it can to match people up. Okay, at the end of 8 weeks, you look at your standings. Okay, so the last week you put all your results in, blah, 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 blah. put the results. If something happened, the two players said, oh, yeah, actually, Andrew and Alia were playing, and Andrew says, oh, I played black. Okay, that's fine. Let's put Alia here, and let's put Andrew Chard as black. Okay, so it's dropped down to the bottom here because it's got a result. So Andrew Chard, we'll put him as black. Okay, so we swap the colors around. Okay, and Andrew won. Doesn't matter. You can change anything you want to change. You can put all these results in. Okay, so at the end of the tournament, okay, we've got all the games finished. Let's pretend this is 8 weeks. It's all finished. Everything's in. We look at the standings and we say, congratulations, first place, Jordan, second place, Rose, third place, Emma. We have some little chess medals that you can hand out in your class. And now the kids are like, oh my gosh, how exciting is this? I got a medal. Okay, you don't have to give the medal to first, second, and third place. You could give a medal for first place, and then you could give like a most improved award, and that's just your choice. Like I think Lewis played really well. Like this is his first term at chess. The fact that he got half a point, congratulations here, Lewis. You're getting a medal for most improved. Maybe there's only 2 girls in your class, so you're like, okay, our top girl here, Rose. She's our best girl player, so we're going to give her a medal. You can make up whatever reason you want for giving the awards out. Doesn't have to be first place. You might find after 3, 4, 5 terms in a class, Sivanesh keeps coming first. It's boring for him to get gold medal all the time, and it's boring for everybody else that he always gets the gold medal. So maybe you want to make some different rules. Okay, I want to give some different rules. Okay, what we can do is we can click on this one here. We click edit. We've got this bonus points. I'm going to give him 5 bonus points. Okay. I don't even actually, to be honest, I don't even know what happens with these bonus points. I think you just have to display them somewhere. Here you are. Okay. Then we can see in the bonus points column, let's just reload the page. Oh, no. Okay. So bonus points doesn't even work. So that's all right. Sometimes things doesn't work. Bonus points does not work. So we can just ignore that one. It used to work. What else can I tell you? So, okay, at the end, you've got your standings. You can see the results, the players, the scores, tie-break scores, and you can tell them, hey, look, now you have a rating, right? This is what your rating is. This number tells you how good you are at chess. Next time you play a tournament, your rating might go up, it might go down. Just like Sivanesh, in his tournaments, his rating's going up and down. You can see his profile. Okay, if somebody's never coming back to the class, then you just withdraw them. It puts the line through their name and it never pairs them into any more games. Okay, now let's throw it open. Some questions.
What you explain on Microsoft laptop applicable to my Android phone? Would it behave the same?
Correct. So this is all just in a web browser. So everything behaves the same way on any web browser. You can be on a phone, a tablet, a laptop, a Microsoft device, an Apple Macintosh device. It doesn't matter, anything. So it's just a web browser. So it's like you go to the website, you can click these things, the buttons are all the same. Okay, on a phone, it's going to be a little smaller, but yeah, it works the same way.
Okay. And then another question, is it correct to say I can go back to whenever I want to go and alter results or pairing, right?
Yes,
So
correct. So you can go back to round 1, you can change your mind, you say, actually, this didn't happen, Lucas played here. You can change the results. You can say, no, this one was a draw. This one, it's actually, no, I'm going to give Jack the win. You can even, there's some 3 dots next to the name, ... You can even give a win for both sides, win and win.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
so
handy.
Normally in a chess tournament, you get 1 point for a win, half for a draw, and 0 for a loss. Some people like to make it, you get 3 points for a win, 2 points for a draw, and 1 point for a loss. Okay, so you can change that. This is in your settings here. You click settings and you change it. Now, when we reload the page here, we'll just reload so it updates. Now you'll see 7 points. Okay, so you can give different points for win, loss, or draw. So sometimes this 3-2-1 system, it rewards people for just playing a game. You played a game, you got a point, well done. You get 2 points if it's a draw, and you get 3 points if you win. Okay, there's a little bit of encouragement there for people to draw, because if you draw, there's a total of 4 points being given to the tournament. But okay, maybe this is what you want to do. Maybe you want to give 10 points for a win, 2 points for a draw, and 1 point for a loss. So now win is like super important. You have to get like 10 losses to make up for 1 win. That's okay. You can do what you like. So you can make these settings here. I think the normal system 1/2 0, it's completely fine. I also 3-2-1. I quite like 3-2-1 as well as a system. Okay, it's fine. Or 4-2-1. You can give 4-2-1 as well, because then a draw is the same as a draw is the same as a draw is the same as a win, essentially. But anyway, it's completely up to you. 3-2-1. Actually, no, that's 3-2-1 is still the same, because you give 3 points for the winner, 1 point for the loser. 2 draws, you get 4 points still in total. So yeah, it's the same number of points being allocated. It just means that yeah, it's just a different scoring system. Boris, keep going.
You think applicable, what you just explained, applicable would stay for that school or overall in my profile, or where it's belongs?
No, so all of these settings only apply for this tournament. So you can see
this tournament, okay.
this URL.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
KU Zone, this is your role marking system, is a completely different system. We just have a small integration where you click the button. When you click the button, it just puts the names of the players.
Right. Okay.
Make
This
it easy.
Tornelo tournament, that's belongs.
So Tornelo, separate software.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll have your settings in Tornelo, and then you just make your settings for each tournament, and you can update in tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's all pretty quick. So you go to settings, make setting. You can have as many rounds as you want. You can make people play the same person twice if you want to. The only thing you can't do is you can't have somebody playing twice in one round. So Emma can't play 2 games in each round. Okay. But she can get a win for this game, but she can't get like twice in one round, because it's a little unfair. Emma plays twice in this round, everyone else plays once. So that's kind of hard coded into the system.
Okay. And you withdrew a person, how to get it back?
Okay, so you just click her name and then unwithdraw.
Okay, good. Okay.
Now she's back. If you need to delete a round because this wasn't really happening, we just click.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can delete round 2 as well.
Yeah, I'll just go back. I'll delete everything and
leave round 1, please. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So, any other questions on how? Yep.
If you've got a smaller group, so say like I've got a class that's only 6 students,
Mm-hmm.
What's the kind of priorities with the how it pairs? Will it prioritize pairing a new player, like a different player each week, or will it prioritize?
So yeah, good question. With 6 players, what you'll find is that it will so it's hard coded to play. You can't play against the same person twice. So what will happen is after 5 weeks, everyone will have played against everyone else. So it will firstly try to give you people on the same score. If it can't find someone, but it will like a higher priority is the fact that you can't play against the same person. So in a 6, so what will happen is after 5 games, everyone will play everyone. You'll click the button pair next round. It will say, we can't find a legal pairing. We can't find it. And then you'll go down arrow, manual pairing.
Okay.
You've got a list then of everybody here so this is kind of placeholders, and you'll say, okay, I'm going to put Sivanesh against Sam, and you'll manually match them up in whatever format you want. And then you just choose the players who play against each other. Okay. And say, this is the tournament game. So after everybody's played against everyone with 6 players in the tournament, after 5 rounds, each of those 6 has played against everybody else. It'll say, I'm sorry, I can't find a legal pairing. There's no other way that, and then that's okay. You'll just keep on going. Sometimes it will tell you like there's no next round button. It just says finished. Okay, so we look at the settings here. It tells you the number of rounds. So the number of rounds comes from KU Zone. So when we set up the tournament, it says there's 8 weeks in the class. There should be 8 rounds. Okay, because that's how it should be. 1 week for every round. But of course, some things happen. Maybe you get an extra class. So now you have 9. So you need to change that to 9. Or maybe 1 week gets cancelled. So you have to change it to 7. Okay. And then at the end of the tournament, you'll see a button that says finish tournament. Okay. So anyway, I wouldn't worry about the finishing of the tournaments. That's not so important. But if you finish the tournament, you can submit them for ratings. It goes onto players' profiles. All that sort of stuff happens when you officially finish the tournament. But yeah, small number of, if something says you can't do it, just click manually create the pairings. This is now manual pairings. You can see these are in draft mode. And then you want to go, okay, now these are live. And now then you'll still have the next thing, manual pairing. And so when you make a manual pairing, it just gives you the list of everybody, and you can just edit them one by one.
And then I have another one where the school hadn't enrolled any students into the KU zone, so I've had to start manually pairing. How much of the information for the manually adding people into the Tornelo is necessary?
So you can just manually. So let's say, so if you're not marking a role on KU zone, like let's say it's a class that the school's paying for, it's part of the curriculum, and you're like, well, I'm not going to mark the role on KU zone, I don't need to. Then you just type the person's name in. Okay. Okay. So Dominic Pye. Oh, here we go. Click the name. If he's in the system, you just click the name. And
so how much of this detail is necessary though?
So
like, do you need any of it or just the name?
Only the name. Okay. So let's say you've got a player who isn't in the system, then you can create that player, and none of the information is required. So you can leave everything empty. You can, like, it will give you some, it'll try and guess some rating, which will give you like the average rating of everybody in the tournament. You can make a manual rating yourself if you want to, and that's all you need. Okay, so now you can see Monica is here. She has some rating of some sort. This is the rating column, so you can edit these anytime if you want them to be in a different order, or you think you know somebody's rating because they're new. You're like, well, actually, Rose, actually 500. Okay, and so you can give them a rating. So you can actually allocate people a rating if you wanted to, for the purposes of the tournament. But yeah, it's only the name. If they've played in the Tornelo tournament before, you might be able to see them on the list, and you can select them. You can remove this player now altogether because she's not really there. But yeah, just the name. Okay. All right, any other questions?
So switching from the player viewer to arbiter viewer, you press pairing, right? So
pairing program, that's right.
Okay.
So you can see here, this is what the players will see when they come. So if the tournament is online, we just click edit, and now you see this button, play games online.
All right. Okay.
You can select play games online, and when you've got that play games online, now in the pairings program, you'll have this button that says create games. So I'm not sure, Dominic, if you just missed that for a second, but if you wanted to play the games online, we'll edit the tournament, and in the settings here, you tick the box, play games online. All right. So once, I think by default that's left out because we're assuming it's a school class. So we haven't updated our API to check the box, but let's assume that it's off. You tick the box on, right? Then when you go back to your pairings program, you'll see the create games button. So you can click that. Now you've got this watch here, and the players can join the game. You'll see what the player sees. It says you're white against Sam on board 1, play now. And then they can click the button, the chessboard comes up on the screen, and they can play the game. All right. So this is if it's an online tournament, let's not worry too much about that one. It works exactly the same way as the school tournaments. The only difference is you've now got these live games, and then the players can sign in, and then they can make moves, and the game goes straight into Tornelo. Okay, and you can go back and review those games anytime you want. So yeah, it works where it's online. So being online tournaments a little more complicated because you've got the tournament lobby view for the players as well as the arbiter view for the so you've got the online as well as the offline. So this is the offline stuff, and then this is the online stuff.
Let's go back to edit and put it back to over the board.
I'll just put it back to it over the, it's right, not online tournament anymore. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so when you first come to the page, it'll probably show you the lobby. That's the default. So you just click pairings program, takes you to the pairings program. You can edit, do everything here.
No, that was very useful. Thanks so much.
Great. Well, if there's no other questions, play around with it, click stuff. You can't really break anything. It's pretty robust. So just keep clicking on things, test stuff out. If you've got any other questions, give me a call, send me an email, send me a chat message. You know, there's any number of ways to communicate with me. Heidine and Leah in customer service team, they know how to use Tornelo really well. They're using it all the time. Lots of other coaches, if they've been around for a long time, they know how to use Tornelo really well. So you can ask them questions. Kath knows how to use it. She uses it all the time. So yeah, everybody knows how to use it.
Perhaps would be good to circulate the few numbers when we need urgent help with Tornelo, whom to text or call, if it makes sense.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, look, the first point of call is always either Kath or the customer service team. So you can ring 1-300 number. Because this is all online, also they can edit something for you. If you can say, I don't know how to get Daniel Sung to play against Lucas because Lucas is in the unpaired players list, how do I do that? Then you can see that somebody else can come here. They can put Lucas's name in here, and they just tell you, okay, Boris, reload your page now. And then when you just hit the reload button, and now it's all here. You're like, cool, thanks, you fixed it for me. Okay, so we can do that for you remotely because it's just a website, right?
Okay.
So 1-300 number is always the first option. Both Heidine and Leah know how to use Tornelo. They can edit things for you. If you can't get onto them or it's too complicated for them, Kath, the second point of call, you've got Kath's number. And then the third person, of course, is me. And if you have my number, you can text me as well. So
yeah, that's good.
Somebody will be able to help you.
Yeah.
Or if you're at a school, maybe you're at a school with Anthony and Carl and people who've been coaching for a long time. And if they've been doing chess coaching for a long time, we've been using Tornelo since 2008. So anybody who's been around for a long time will have been using it for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Yeah.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Yeah.
I will leave you guys for your day and let me know if there's any other questions.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. See you later.